For this experiment, we are testing the effect of magnetic repulsion on a moving object. We used a plastic box as the object with attached magnets that passed by another magnet of similar poles. We used an inclined ramp to obtain uniform velocity of the sliding object.
We first combined two of the magnets shown here so that the poles aligned with each other to combine their magnetic field. Next, we attached this pair of magnets to our stationary object. The moving object will always have a pair of magnets attached to it in all of our trials. Our first trial will have one pair on the stationary object, our second trial will have two pairs on the stationary object, and our third will have three pairs. Our last trial will have four pairs.
This is our control trial with no magnets. This shows the course that the moving object would have taken without any magnetic interference. As you can see, the moving object changes trajectory very lightly. However, this is not due to any magnetic interference.
This is our first trial with one pair of magnets in our stationary object. As stated before, there is only one pair of magnets on the moving object. As you can see, the repulsion of the magnets barely pushes the moving object from its original course. This is very similar to the control trial. Now, this is our trial with two pairs. Again, the moving object has one pair of magnets. The repulsion in this trial is greater than the previous trial with one pair of magnets on the stationary object.
This is our third trial with three pairs of magnets. As you can see, most of the trials resulted in a rotation of approximately 180-degree angles. This is approximately double the rotation than the trial with two pairs of magnets. This is our fourth trial with four pairs of magnets. As you can see, most of the trials resulted in a rotation larger than 180 degrees. The previous trial with three pairs of magnets consistently resulted in rotations less than 180 degrees in comparison to this trial.
As the moving object approaches the stationary magnets, the magnetic field of the stationary magnets began to interact with the north and south side of the moving magnet. As the moving object with the magnet began to approach the stationary magnet, the north pole began to be repulsed by the north side of the stationary magnet, while the south pole began to be attracted by the north pole of the stationary magnet. Essentially, the rotation of the moving object began before it passed in front of the stationary object. This new angle caused by the rotation of the moving object contributed to the overall torque by these forces. This is seen as a rotation that changed in degrees as we increase the magnetic force of the stationary object. Thus, we see rotations that increment in degrees as we increment the amount of magnetic field by changing to more stronger magnets.